What up, YouTube? It's your boy Cass FG, all about that fashion, still about that action. Here with my first video on the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe if you like the content, leave a comment in the box down below. Maybe hit that notification bell for news and updates. Now let's get into it. As you guys can see here, I got this mobile game up that I play right now. It's called Cloudia. Maybe you heard of it, maybe you haven't. If not, I'm here to introduce you to it. If you've been a long time player of the game, maybe you might learn a thing or two. You could teach me a thing or two. I'd very much appreciate it. I'm still maybe like a year in, maybe just under a year. I know I started playing around when they released Genius Archer Foul. I want to say that was in February, so February last year. So yeah, I think this 2021 February will be my first complete year playing the game. And I gotta say, as I managed to squeeze out a lot. It's a game made by Adis. If you guys aren't aware of them, go check out the website, go check out the YouTube channel. I'll give you a brief intro. You get to meet a couple of developers, the marketing team guys. I actually really like this game. I like it a lot. It's great character artwork, great animations, story super interesting. But there are some issues. And you know, we'll get into those. This is just a brief introductory to it. So like I said, I've been playing the game for maybe 9-10 months. I'm not even actually sure. Maybe I could probably check that somewhere. But yeah, we could just do a little quick account overview. So I can show you where you guys I'm at. Let's dive into my units. Rem, one of my favorite physical attackers. Amelia, one of my favorite mages. My boy Lag, Logia, just a couple of name a few. As you can see, the max characters are probably the ones I use the most. Other than my girl Tankilly. I know she's a crazy buffer. I actually pulled her a long time ago. I just have not had the chance to build her up. She's a great unit, by the way. The game does do collaborations with like animes, various famous animes. These two just happen to be from RE0. If you haven't checked out that anime yet, definitely go take a look at it. Very interesting. First season I absolutely loved. The second was it got a little dicey. But I mean, while we're here, I can show you guys my favorite unit. She's one of the newest shift forms. This is her original form. Absolutely loved her. Absolutely love her. Very powerful mage. Now, to pull characters in this game does take quite a bit of luck, and it's not that great of a pity system, in all honesty. When they do decide to put characters up on pity, it can cost you anywhere from, I think it's like $300 to get one of them off pity. Yeah, arcs included. But you know, that's the way of the gacha games of old. There's a lot of new gacha games that have implemented much better pity systems, I will have to say. As far as the content goes, the content is great. Like I said, the story is great. You got the main characters, your boy Kyle over here. Haven't used them much. Dropped them as soon as I got some other units. Your boy Zekis, Iria, or Tyria, I'm not quite sure how that goes, and Lebet, I believe. And then, you know, who forget the golden boy Ray. You know, he actually had another form. I was very upset I was unable to pull him. Or like one of the recent units, Alice, physical damager, machine type, in spam S4s, gets SCT back. That skill cost time for you guys who are unfamiliar with the game. And pretty much has a lot of uptime on her abilities. Each unit has, you know, clearly summary of their attributes, their weaknesses, what elements can take them out quick. Gives you a short overview of their abilities. And a lot of them also come with traits. And, you know, it gets added as you increase their ability grid, whatever you want to call it. As you can see here, I don't really use Ray that much. Yeah, and then there are some weaker units. There is a tier list for this game. I use the Ultimate JP website, ultimate.jp website. It's a Japanese site, but if you're using Google Chrome or something, you can easily translate it to English. Easy to go. I know there are a bunch of creators who have already been on the game, probably longer than me. Some new. Shout outs to Mobile Gamers Unite. I frequently visit his channel. Leave a comment or two. There's Big MCC. Funny guy when he's doing pulls. And then you got the newcomer, Budafish. He's going through it. He's doing the whole tier list breakdown. Make sure you go check out those vids. And that's more representative of the whole newcomer experience. You know what I mean? Like I said, I am ranked 33. I've been in this game for a little while. I actually have every standard arc in the game. Was very happy when I pulled these two UR arcs. Ultra rare, for you guys who don't know. Limited rare is the LR ones, and super rare, I believe, is what the SSR one stands for. And then, it goes down from there. You got some of the SRs down here. Now, since I've been playing the game, they haven't added any new SR or R arcs. Not to say that I would use them really, but would be nice to get some newer arcs of that tier. I guess they figure maybe it's enough. But if you're taking a look here, with some of these arcs, for example, let's go to the pirate ship one. As you level these arcs up, you can either through battling increase the arc ether, and the arc ether has I believe it's maybe like a 10% chance to increase by 0.1% to get this to 100. And when you get to 100, you get an item, and the items tend to be useful more often than not. Like this particular item is good for farming, right? A chance to obtain an item upon defeating an enemy. Great stuff. More importantly, for you free to play guys, before I dive into it, I am definitely not free to play. I have put money into this game, probably not a significant amount, but I have spent a couple of dollars here and there. But normally in this library section, as you level up these arcs, and see, as you guys can see, a lot of my arcs are really leveled out. But as you level up these arcs, you get gifts. And normally before these, before the level 10 on most of the SSR arcs, all of these tend to be free crystals. And the crystals you use to summon. That's how you pull the arcs and the characters, the units. I was free to play for a little while, and I remember when they first introduced the character or unit Lily. That was the and that's her right here. This was the first time I decided to put money into the game. I loved her character animation. I loved who she was in the story. Just seemed like a super powerful person. Won't spoil it for you, but she's probably, as you can guess, not the protagonist or helping the protagonist, right? But I love her anyway, and that was the first time I put money. Actually, the first time I pulled Lily, and she's considered a quote-unquote tier 1 character. Again, go check out that ultima.jp website or Budafish's breakdown on the tier units, on the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 units. Literally means she's one of the strongest units in the game. But I actually managed to pull her arc and this guy right here in the same 10 pull. The first time I actually put money in the game. Which, hook, line, and sinker, I from that point on would periodically, drop a 10, a 20, or a 50 every now and then, right? But I managed to squeeze out with my my RNG. And he's what they consider a thief. He has skills and traits that can net him items from enemies on the field. And one of my favorite units to use. Each of these units do have their own innate abilities. And it's usually the ones that cost let's order this by, it's usually the ones that cost 0 SC, and that's skill cost. And that just means this is the total amount that you're of skill points that's allotted to your character. You know, you use the actual skills to fill them out. You can acquire these new skills, the ones that have a number associated next to it, by learning them from arcs. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. I actually really like this system, because you can mix and match a lot of these skills with different characters to like boost them outside of their usability range, as opposed to if you only use the skills that they innately learn, right? Great stuff, great system. I believe this is like one of the first games, I think the only game I've played like this. I can't really recall anyone at the time right now, but yeah, great system. As far as the world goes, I'm practically caught up with the story. I'm I've managed to squeeze almost every free gem I could out of the world. As you can see, it's very intensive. I can see a little item here. This is probably where the next area is going to be. I usually cover it with clouds. But I've managed to do a lot. Not only are there quest areas, but there's ports and towns where you can buy items, buy weapons. Then there's facilities where there's like I call it bonus content. I wouldn't even know if you call it bonus. Just other things to do other than fight things, right? Like the monster collector's banner. I believe this is for bounties. Yeah. You go around in this particular continent and you fulfill some of them. Oh, I have one right here. And you fulfill the bounties, and then you get items. There's the other one, like the fairy lab, where you have to collect these tiny fairies from various parts around the continent, like various continents. I've actually collected all the fairies already, especially given with the new news that's coming out. I think we're gonna have to recollect all of them, and then we get a free unit here. And again, for those of you who haven't played the game, this would probably be the best time to join, as the New Year's event that was announced is they're gonna have ultra rare arcs up, guaranteed ways to get them, and those UR arcs, oh, difficult to pull. Usually they don't have any type of rate increase, probability increase, so that you can pull them from the gates. It's and I could show you that. But before we hop into that, I'll just show you a normal stage. Do specific mission briefs within them. You get free crystals. You could use those free crystals to summon. And when you start the game, they give you a free 10 spin, and then they give you like another 3,000 crystals once you reach a certain level. But let's get into some of the gates. Yeah, like this is the new hero, Descent of Hero, that's up right now. The Descent of Heroes are limited time units that only come around every now and then, I should say. But just so you get an idea, I don't know if you guys can really see this, but it's 3% pull a unit and then 5% to pull an arc of SSR rarity, right? A little redundant. But yeah, the units, other than the one that's generally on the banner, don't have any rate ups. So right now, Spirit Maiden Tyria is up, so she has a rate up, and the SSR arc that is up has a rate up. But if it was a UR arc, the UR arc probability is usually the same as all of the other arcs. And usually on these banners that drop these new units with the new UR arcs, the UR arcs do not have a rate up. They're like what? I think this is 0.15. Yeah, it's ridiculously low. So I actually haven't managed to pull her. She's a great healer. Just so you guys can get an image of her artwork. Fantastic artwork. Absolutely love it. Love what they've done with the game. They usually put in a lot of effort for the artwork for these characters and the sprites as well. But this is not a character review. We're not jumping into that. I'm just showing you guys a brief overview account, giving you my thoughts on the game. As a newcomer, you'll have a lot to do. There's a lot of stages to go through. There's a lot of difficulty to those stages. So as you roll through them, and once you reach a certain part of the game, then you'll unlock the hard version of those same dungeons. And then very specific dungeons also have a god tier difficulty. And they all drop free gems. And again, these free gems you guys can use to, pull a summon. And I can show you what, one of the animations look like right here. Hopefully, maybe we'll get something good. But I'm actually saving up for the New Year's event. Just a couple of gems. I'll probably figure out some way to pull some more when I get around to that time. See this one right here, I only got one character. There was only one beep. That's not a high probability that I'll get something good. What tends to happen is orb will change gold or red, or for the UR arcs, it'll go red and then turn back to blue on this screen here. That's how you know you got something good. I just got another rare arc. Nothing great. But yeah, like I said, really fun game. There's a PvP system. You fight against the defensive line of other people's people's units. As you guys can see here, I've made it to what they call Gold 1. Wasn't all that easy. I'll tell you that much. Wasn't all that easy. As far as the units go, let's see. You have to pull duplicates of the characters to get bonus skill cost. So as you can see down here, I have a bonus of 6. This means I've pulled Rem either 3 times, or they actually dropped what is the bonus SC item, which are the prisms that look like this, which just a lot of bonus too. But naturally, all of the units only go up to a max of 80 SC cost. And even then, to increase that cost, you got to use these things called Mother Souls. These things quite difficult to get. There's not a lot of opportunities to get them outside of events and a couple of side quests that they have lurking around in the background. I have a couple of fairly decent amount of weapons, items, accessories, armors. These add, for like example, this is one that you get from the Phantom Tower. This is really only useful inside the Phantom Tower versus a paid item such as the Seraph Scepter. I again got this with paid crystals during the time Guardian Angel Lukiel was out. But yeah, they tend to add extra effects, stats, all that, normal RPG stuff that, you'd expect with any RPG game. But there's various ways to get these items through Arc Ethers, through free quests that they have out in the world, or paid items or events, my favorite. But speaking of events, Adis, I've been playing this game for a little while now, and I gotta say, I'm kind of disappointed that there's not more opportunities to get free gems, for the guys like us, or for the players that are playing, who are at the end of the story, who've done a lot of the content, who are, practically just logging on every day now to maybe do the arena, maybe just do the dailies to collect some free gems. That's really the only way we can get free gems. For the new, like the low spenders, free to play players, once you guys get to that end game, there's not going to be a lot of opportunities, I would say, for free gems. They drop characters maybe like twice, most 3 times a month. Events more recently have gotten numerous, but even then, a lot of these new events aren't dropping free crystals as they used to, and they're taking away a lot of the special tickets. Now, what I mean by those special tickets is that a lot of these events usually have summon tickets that you guys, they'll usually bring up a whole other banner that you can use specific tickets on, such as, like, this is the standard one right here. So, you would normally have a ticket here, you use it to summon, and there's a specific list that it summons from, right? When they would drop these new event characters, such as when they did Blaze Blade, great character arc, by the way. Great character art. I absolutely love it. But when they dropped him, they had tickets that you could use instead of these free gems. Now, granted, you only maybe got like 10 of them, and the the banner itself didn't actually have the characters on rate up, but it was a chance to actually get the character. You know what I mean? For those F2P or Lotus or low spending players. Now most people actually don't get anything off those tickets, but I was lucky enough. I managed to get, I believe, Yashimaru off of a ticket. He's one of the more recent characters. Thief, great at stealing items. Believe I have him equipped with a bunch of other items. Yeah, that help him steal items. But yeah, you know, those tickets are super important, Adis. We would love to have them back. The paid step-ups. The paid step-ups are another thing. The much shorter ones, 1 round ones, where if you spend like $11, you get maybe, let's see, you get a free 10 spin, 5. So yeah, you get about 19, maybe 20 spins total. So for like 100 paid crystals, you get 2 spins, and then for like 200, you get, it's 4. So then yeah, and then once it hits the 400, I think it's 5 that you get, and then they give you a free 10 spin. So, you know, really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Those other rounds that they normally have, it's relatively low cost for the first round, and then every round after that, you're practically paying the maximum $29, $30 to get the 10 spins, which cost 3,000 crystals. As you can see, a single spin costs 300 crystals. And to get the guaranteed unit, you'd have to, it's 5 steps in every round. And then there's like 4 or 5 rounds. And the character wouldn't be guaranteed until the 4th or 5th round. So you're looking at easily $300-$400 to get some of these characters. And it sucked. It really sucked. But I, again, appreciate the shorter paid step-ups, but please bring back the free tickets. Please bring back the free tickets. We love them. I'm missing them. Yeah, to be completely honest, I'm missing them. And for the newcomers, the F2P, the low cost spending players, they would love it. They would love it. Not everybody can, you know, drop $100 in their favorite gacha game. But I listen. I don't know the size of the development team, but I've supported. I'm here for you guys. I still log in every day. Usually you can go to your account stats. Where is it? Profile. Yeah, and I've only got 170 hours in. Again, like I said, I've luckily gotten some very good pulls. Especially my boy Lag here. I managed to pull him. I had material that I was using because I didn't actually have great characters at the time. So I had a lot of material stashed up. They gave us a free level 100 potion. I threw it on him. I threw all my materials at him, and he was able to get me through a lot of content. A lot of content fairly quickly, I will add. But yeah, this was just a brief account overview and, you know, some of my thoughts on the game, where the game is headed. I think it's getting to a great spot. We're getting more and more players, I believe. The Reddit is great. I don't go on it too much, not so much. But there's a lot of good information out there. Again, you got YouTube content creators like Budafish, Mobile Gamers Unite, Big MCC. And, you know, all these guys got their own particular way of, you know, reviewing characters, going over the news. But I am happy to be one of the newer people to start streaming content about this game because I think it deserves some attention. But that's going to be it for this video. Again, this was one of my first videos, one of my first of many. I'm going to be putting up content on some other games. I also play Guild Wars 2. I play Genshin Impact. You know, Overwatch, even though I'm not on it that much these days. GTA Online, Monster Hunter, all of these other games. I'll definitely do some reaction vids, some lifestyle vids, till, you know, I kind of find out what I want to do on a consistent basis. I'll be dropping 2 or 3 videos a week. And that'll be it. You know what I'm saying? Hope to see you guys in the next one. Join me again. Remember, it's your boy Cass FG. fashion gaming, all about that fashion, still about that action. Till next time.